Despite being new to the show, Wheel of Fortune host Ryan Seacrest has experience. Ryan has decades of experience in the entertainment business. His emphasis on maintaining control is now causing him to irritate his superiors. Ryan Seacrest is very attractive. Even though Wheel of Fortune is Ryan Seacrest's first business, he is doing well. He is making progress as the new host, albeit it hasn't exactly gone off without a hitch. He has years of experience with other events, but he is still getting his bearings with the wheel. He has hosted American Idol, for example, since June 2002. He also has an established radio program. Additionally, radio served as his stepping stone to television from the beginning. He is also well known to many fans from his appearance on Live with Kelly and Ryan. He is berating Wheel executives because of his negotiation background. He finds it difficult to relinquish control as they try to lock in his commitment. Executives at Wheel of Fortune are angry that Ryan Seacrest is in control. There is some worry, even if Wheel of Fortune officials appear to be happy with the ratings since Ryan Seacrest joined the program. Ryan first signed a short-term agreement. This was probably done to shield the network from a disaster similar to the one Jeopardy had when Alex Trebek, the show's iconic host, was replaced. However, WOF wants to sign a new contract now that viewership is rising. Ryan, meanwhile, is going through an extremely hectic period in his life. He is in line for the Celebrity Wheel of Fortune position, hosting American Idol and on air with Ryan Seacrest, and getting ready for Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve special. He is also a producer and an investor. It is undoubtedly difficult to fit a lot more into his calendar. The executives, however, wish to refocus him solely on WOF. Ryan continues to play the field and maintain complete control, despite the fact that his bosses saw him as the future. He should limit his outside commitments, according to Wheel of Fortune. According to an individual who spoke to Closer Weekly, Ryan Seacrest is difficult to define. He won't make it easy because of his years of negotiation experience. According to the source, Ryan has consistently achieved success in almost every endeavor he has undertaken, including hosting, producing, his clothing line, charitable work, and even cooking. Ratings are also at their greatest level in 5 years. The insider goes on to say, "The people in charge at Wheel of Fortune want him to give the show his whole and undivided attention and don't want him overworked. Since they can't alter it, it appears that the showrunners will tolerate his continued hosting of American Idol, saying, 'It's okay he hosts American Idol.' But they're prepared for Ryan Seacrest to make a significant investment. They want him to scale down his other endeavors and tie him up in a binding contract," the insider claims. Pat Sajak reportedly had relatively little time dedicated to the show, which allowed him to focus on other interests. Ryan Seacrest appreciates his independence. The executives, however, are growing impatient. They see Ryan as the future, but he's not the type of guy to lock in and sign here, the insider continues. Being a bit of a free agent is something Ryan Seacrest enjoys. His stubborn attitude is driving bosses crazy, and he wants freedom and control and refuses to be pigeonholed, they continue. It's clear that Ryan enjoys trying new things. He and his sister, Meredith Seacrest Leach, even co-wrote a novel called The Make-Believers. His gregarious nature prefers to leave possibilities open for investigation. Regarding the insider's disclosure that Ryan Seacrest is having difficulty relinquishing authority to Wheel of Fortune, what are your thoughts? Will the star sign a contract, in your opinion? Is he waiting to make sure the gig goes through, in your opinion? When Ryan Seacrest was officially announced as the new host of Wheel of Fortune, fans and industry insiders largely agreed he was the safest, and perhaps most predictable, choice. With Pat Sajak stepping down after over 4 decades, the producers wanted someone with star power, polished charisma, and proven ability to handle live television. Ryan checked every box. But now, just months into his new tenure, a storm is quietly brewing behind the glittering puzzle board. According to reports from insiders, Wheel of Fortune executives are increasingly frustrated with Seacrest's strong grip over creative and production decisions. They expected him to simply plug in and play as the on-camera talent. Instead, Ryan is behaving less like a host and more like the man running the show. The Seacrest effect. Ryan Seacrest isn't just a TV host, he's a brand. From American Idol to Live with Kelly and Ryan, and from Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve to his sprawling radio empire, Seacrest has spent decades building an entertainment empire with his fingerprints all over it. When he steps into a project, he doesn't simply read a teleprompter. He looks for ways to refine, innovate, and expand. And that's exactly what has executives nervous. He didn't come in as just a host. He came in with ideas, lots of them. One insider explained. Ryan wants to adjust everything from the show's pacing to how prizes are announced. He wants more celebrity-themed weeks, flashier set transitions, and even changes in the music cues. For some executives, it feels like too much, too soon. A different vision. Pat Sajak was always considered a consummate professional and team player. He showed up, delivered his lines, and let producers handle the rest. While he certainly had influence after 40 years, Sajak never pushed too hard against the wheel of tradition. Ryan, however, sees an opportunity to make Wheel of Fortune feel modern, relevant, and, dare he say, hip. Sources claim he's already proposed integrating social media elements more aggressively into the show, pitching live fan interaction segments and digital tie-ins. He's thinking about TikTok. He's thinking about streaming audiences. He wants to make the show not just for grandma and grandpa, but for their kids and grandkids too, said another source. That vision, while potentially exciting, has clashed with executives who believe the show's success lies in its stability. After all, Wheel has remained one of the most watched syndicated shows in America precisely because it hasn't changed much in decades. The control issue. What seems to be ruffling the most feathers is how Ryan asserts himself during production meetings. Insiders say he regularly sits in on sessions that previous hosts rarely attended, often steering conversations in directions producers hadn't intended. Ryan isn't shy, an insider revealed. If he thinks the lighting looks off, he says it. If he thinks the contestant introductions are dragging, he'll speak up. He's not wrong most of the time, but it's the way he's taking control that makes executives uneasy. Some staff reportedly joke that Ryan doesn't just want to host Wheel of Fortune, he wants to run it. Friction with Vanna White. Adding another layer of intrigue, whispers suggest that Vanna White, the longtime letter-turner and fan favorite, has also noticed Ryan's assertiveness. While she said publicly that she's excited to work with him, behind the scenes she's reportedly wary of him overshadowing her role. Ryan's used to being the main attraction, one source noted. But on Wheel, Pat and Vanna were always a duo. If Ryan shifts the focus too heavily toward himself, that dynamic could suffer. And Vanna knows how much the audience still loves her presence. Fans already noticing the shift. Even viewers at home have picked up on Ryan's tendency to command the spotlight. While many appreciate his professionalism, some longtime fans feel he's trying too hard to modernize the show. Pat had this calm, steady energy. Ryan feels like he's running a live award show. One fan tweeted after an early episode. Another wrote, "Love Ryan on Idol, but on Wheel he's a bit much. It's a game show, not a red carpet event." Of course, Ryan has plenty of defenders too. Some argue that the show needs a little shaking up to stay relevant. Executives torn. Behind the scenes, Wheel of Fortune brass reportedly find themselves in a bind. On one hand, Ryan Seacrest is delivering rating stability, which was their number one concern when Sajak retired. On the other hand, his growing influence threatens to shift the power balance in ways they didn't anticipate. They hired Ryan for his star power, an insider said, but they didn't expect him to flex that star power quite so strongly. It's like inviting a chef into your kitchen and realizing he wants to redesign the whole restaurant. Some executives reportedly want him to scale back and simply do the job he was hired for. Others are intrigued by his vision, seeing potential in modernizing a brand that could otherwise risk stagnation. The Seacrest playbook. Those who know Ryan well, however, aren't surprised by the tension. He's long been known as a workaholic who thrives on control. His success across multiple platforms comes from not just hosting, but shaping projects. He's not content being the face. He wants to be the brain behind the face, said a former colleague. That's how he operates. That's why he's Ryan Seacrest. What's next for Wheel? For now, the situation appears to be in a delicate balancing act. Executives may grumble about Ryan's control, but his ability to bring energy, polish, and new ideas is undeniable. The real test will be whether the show can merge his vision with its classic formula without alienating its core audience. In the meantime, Seacrest seems unfazed by the chatter. On his radio show, he recently teased that big surprises are coming for Wheel of Fortune fans this season. That alone has fueled speculation that more changes are indeed on the horizon, whether executives like it or not. Final thoughts. The story of Ryan Seacrest and Wheel of Fortune is shaping up to be a classic case of old traditions meeting new ambition. For fans, it's a front-row seat to see whether the host's controlling instincts will revitalize the show or disrupt its timeless magic.